So my name is Paul Vinay, and I'm from New York City, from Manhattan. And I've been living in Japan since 2008, and living in Osaka since 2018. And I'm an artist. I've worked in a wide variety of media, including some technical fields. I worked in industry for a number of years. And I think these days I mostly focus on photography, working with older cameras, and puppets. Puppets. I'm learning about puppetry and building puppets. And we've done a number of shows here in Konohana. I kind of feel like puppets is one of those late in life discoveries that is really exciting and invigorating. And I get to use all of the various skills that I've developed over the years, things that I've learned I can now use.
You said before the puppet, regarding the puppets, you invited many kids in a project.
Yes. And we did a show in the neighborhood here, and the plot line was just very simple. This mysterious creature that falls from the sky and crashes to the ground. And then these other characters from the neighborhood puppets, they try to help. I think one of the things that was important in developing the puppet characters was that we use, so they're the size of Bonoku puppets. They're not small. And we use children's clothing for them. And we collect the clothing from the families in the neighborhood. So the kids see themselves in these characters. And that's a very enjoyable part of this.
So you're making a story, and you invite kids to produce the puppets and to play puppets.
Right. And so in this particular story, the friends try to help this mysterious creature, and then eventually they call a magician, and the magician comes and he restores the creature. And the creature takes off and leaves behind this huge assortment of toys, which are antique toys that I've collected over the years. And
Japanese toys?
From all over. Some of them I got in Europe, and some of them I got in Japan, and a few of them in America. And the toys are there on the ground, and we invite the kids to come up and play with them. So, it becomes that kind of participatory event. And
you said, as an artist, you were involved in some industry, right?
Yeah.
Now, what kind of industry?
Well, I was in the first I was in the aircraft industry.
Aircraft?
Yeah, I worked for a company called Aircraft Instrument Corporation.
Making planes?
Well, we were making avionics, aircraft electronic systems. So we were making the instrument systems and stuff like that. And there's a lot of there are a lot of aspects to that that really involve kind of a high level of craft and or at least did back in those days. And then my family and I moved to Maine, and I got involved in the boat building industry. And we were building wooden boats.
I know that. The boat especially for getting the robustness.
Yes. And the boats we were building were all work boats. Mostly, every once in a while we would have some kind of pleasure boat, but 90% of the work was workboats.
Workboats.
Yeah. And most of them were made with kind of traditional techniques. So they were wooden boats, they were lap strike and varnished and painted and not sprayed and all of that sort of thing.
So you get many skills.
Yeah,
with the wood.
you end up you go in with a little bit, and you come out with a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
And in between, you spend many days doing the same job over and over because you didn't get it right.
Yeah. It should be a training.
Yeah.
And after that, you came to Japan in 2008.
Yes.
And you came to Osaka in 2018.
Yes.
Yes. Now, what brought you to Konohana, this area?
Let's see. I first came to Konohana to go to an event at Meat House, and it was an evening event, and then I left to go to Nishikujo Station, and
at that time you lived in Kobe.
In Kobe, and it was about 11 o'clock at night. And there was absolutely no one on the street, and there was no traffic. And I thought, my God, I'm at the end of the world. I just but it reminded me of Lower Manhattan. In the way Lower Manhattan would become deserted at night. And that was sort of attractive to me. Kind of. So I came back here a few times, and then the opportunity to have a studio here occurred, and so that's.
So you were looking for your studio.
I was looking for a studio. Yeah.
Okay, and you found.
I found it over on the river, which we can visit later. Yeah.
So you like Konohana?
I really like Konohana. It's a very comfortable place for someone like me, as an expat New Yorker. This is got that feeling.
So could you tell us the places in Konohana you often visit?
Yeah, I think I visit a lot of cafes because I do a lot of writing and I write in cafes. So, I go to places like Bai Cafe or Kabe Kohi or Hamayu, and I spend a lot of time there, and by that I end up meeting a lot of people and learning a lot about the neighborhood and making friends.
And so the places you mentioned, what kind of places for you? I mean, the cafe is cafe, I already know, but do they have any special meaning for you? Just came to Konohana from Kobe, and you were alone.
So that's a big question. The answer is, they have very special meaning for me. And the kind of meaning is about, I think we all go through life trying to find our place, where we feel we belong. And then at some point in life you realize that maybe it's not really there to be found, but you have to make it.
Uh-huh.
And I found Konohana to be a very rich place to make a life. The people are warm and inviting. The buildings are have lots of potential. They're old, some of them are falling apart, so there's many things you can do with them. And those two things, the ability to meet people and become friendly, and the ability to create space, are two, for me, fundamental things in life. And by the way, those two things, making space and creating relationships, inspired the puppets. And the puppet stories are about inhabiting space and being in relation to others.
So the Konohana gave you the inspiration to do a puppet.
Absolutely. I don't think the puppets would exist without, in my life, without Konohana. Yeah. And the very first puppet I made was a puppet named Inogoro.
Inogoro. A Japanese character.
So, and Inogoro lives in a world that is beneath the Shotengai. And it's a city, a Shotengai, beneath the Shotengai, where all Inogoro kinds of characters live. And, that's just so specific. The story is so specific to this place. And I would have enjoyed reading such a story, but I would have never imagined making such a story were I not living here and seeing the patterns of daily life. And watching how nighttime comes to neighborhoods like this. It's quite particular and special because the streets have a certain rhythm during the day, and then as the day goes along, they begin. People finish their shopping and they go home to begin to prepare their meals, and the streets empty out, and then because this is very, very much a family neighborhood, they're empty at night. But watching the sun go down and the change of light and the depopulation of the street, they occur together. And it's dramatic in this quiet, subtle way, And I have to tell you that one of the most beautiful things I ever saw in my life, and I've been many places in my life, but one of the most beautiful things I ever saw in my life was a sunset that I saw from the middle of the Shotengai, 1 block down. And there were 2 high school girls in their uniforms, in blue and white uniforms, and these green and these kind of green bicycles, and the tsukemono table right next to them, and this violet sky, and these 2 girls were admiring the sky, and I was behind them taking in the whole scene. It was absolutely breathtaking.
Do you have any favorite restaurant or the place to meet people?
At the end of this street right here, there's a Chinese restaurant called Tenten. Tenten. And everyone goes there. And
Everyone goes there.
And it's a good place to take a guest or something like that. They have a big menu, and the owner, he and I are the same age, and so we just sit and talk together a lot. And that's one place. Kiki's Bakery is another place. I go there to buy baked goods now, but she used to have a cafe kind of arrangement.
In
And-
Konohana?
Right down the street here.
Ah, so.
And so I would go there and take my writing and my work and sit there with a coffee and a pastry and write through the afternoon. And it was great because it opened right onto the I could get a table right next to the door, which opened onto the street. And in the summertime, I had a view of the street almost all the way to the river. So as we sat there riding through the afternoon, you could again watch the pace of the street change and the condition of light change, and also people coming and going to buy baked goods. So you would meet people as they came. You know,
That was that gave you many chances to make friends.
many opportunities to make friends. It was an incredible mechanism for making friends. You know? Yeah.
そうか。
Yeah. And it's, you know, it's very interesting, but those friendships, they seem on the surface, you would look at them and you would think it's just casual to bump into somebody in a bakery, you know. But they actually become, because they happen day after day or week after week, they actually become very deep. And because you become woven into the fabric of each other's daily life.
Yeah.
So all the things that happened, you know, I had a bicycle accident and broke my shoulder, and everyone knew about it.
Yeah.
And I stopped in the pharmacy one day to get something, and the pharmacist said, "Are you getting enough to eat?" And I said, "Yeah." You know. And then the next day there was a little box of food from him and his wife at my front door.
You really?
Yeah. And that's not unusual. People would stop by and deliver various things. And now I know, and I do that for others, you know, and it's just, it's remarkable.
Yeah.
You know, it's absolutely
I had
remarkable.
the same experience when I was in Mexico.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
そうか。And you talked about cafe coffee.
Yes.
Yeah. And would you give us some more details about the cafe coffee and
Well,
people there?
yeah.
Concerning the
Yes.
relationship to Konohana.
To Konohana,
area.
yes. I think that, you know, I was just trying to organize the way to describe this, but one would begin to notice that there were more and more murals appearing on walls. I think mostly in Baika area in the beginning. And then I began seeing advertisements for Kabe Coffee. And so since I make cafes an integral part of my life, I thought I would go and try it out. And then I realized that this was the same person who was involved in creating these murals. And we'll visit one later on, one of his in particular. But he has a mechanism for raising money to bring people from people from Europe. There's a person coming from Argentina, from people from all over the world, to come here in Konohana and make murals, make mural projects. And so the area is full of murals, and in fact, it's now beginning to describe itself as Mural Town. And it's just
So
very
he is a kind of a
vibrant.
producer of a mural town.
He's a producer. And I think they're doing a spectacular and fine job.
Let's get into another subject. So you've been here more about seven years or
7 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any specific important place or the people since you're here?
Well, here's what, I was thinking about this last night, and I guess the way I would describe it is that I didn't really, I guess I at first associated a lot of my experience reflecting back on New York in the 1950s and 60s. But then I saw this movie, Doro no Kawa.
Doro no Kawa.
Yeah.
It's a Japanese movie.
Yeah,
On
on the novel of the same name by Teru Yamamoto.
Yamamoto Teru?
Yeah.
Miyamoto Teru.
Miyamoto Teru, yeah. And when I saw that movie, the story takes place right over here on the river. On this river joins with the Aji River, and both those rivers were lined with houseboats during the early 1950s, right after the war. And it's a story that set in that. And then seeing that movie, and the way in which Ogori Kohei,
Actor?
yeah,
Director.
he's the director. The way he shot that movie made me understand more about what I was seeing now. That movie, the story takes place in the 1950s and the early 1950s, just after the war. And he captures all of that sense of living in houseboats on the river and what the neighborhood streets were like and all of that sort of thing. And it's a black and white film. It's emotionally very powerful, and quiet. And in fact, to be perfectly honest, the final scene, I was crying. It's just very, very moving story, and it's a story about relationships, and
the people?
Yes. And in this case, two boys become friends, and then at the end, one of them is moving away. But we see this closeness in our daily lives here. And a person like myself, who's just kind of wandering through the world, gets drawn into this closeness. And suddenly, just today at lunch, I was in this little cafe. I was making notes for our conversation, and a person from the neighborhood just came over and sat down at the table, and I said, "Don't worry, but what are you doing?" We are just drawn into each other's lives, and that's wonderful and remarkable. And as long as you're open to that, it's a gift.
So the movie of Doro no Kawa gave you the idea of nature of this local community.
It helped me see. It helped me see the roots of this community and its character of relationships, and the struggle to maintain relationships, as well. It really gave me a lot of insight into this place.
Okay. And then maybe we should go out to visit, but the people that would you give us your general impression on living here in Konohana, comparing to your hometown, New York, Manhattan, or the place you lived in Japan, like in Kobe or
Hikone.
Hikone?
Yeah. You know, it's what I think is. I was just thinking about this yesterday. What I think is so interesting is that, I mean, Osaka is an immense place, and statistically, if you think of the employment zone, not the city itself, but the employment zone, it's 19 million people. It's a crazy number.
Yeah.
And yet, as Jerry Gordon said to me one day, one Sunday we were leaving the bakery down the street here and going to his house for coffee. He said, it's amazing how empty the streets become, you know, in nighttime or on the weekend, on Saturday or Sunday. And it is. And it's because people are inside with their families and their friends. And, you know, there's a real rhythm and pattern to that. It reminds me of Hikone, which is an agricultural community, and so it reminds me of that, and it also reminds me of Manhattan, because Manhattan, when we say Manhattan, we always think of this big buildings and this big space, but Manhattan, like all such cities, I think, is just this network of little neighborhoods. And this is just a little neighborhood. If you're here, you see the same people every day doing the same things and at the same times, and that's important. The other thing I would say is that down the street there's a kimono shop, and then past that there's a fish shop. And down this way, there's an elementary school. So every morning, the kids come down the Shotengai, and they say "Ohayou gozaimasu" to the vendors there. And then in the afternoon, like 3 o'clock, they're coming back, and you know, "Tadaima," but they're passing through, you know, and
to the vendors.
To the vendors, and the vendors, you know, are welcoming them home, and it's that kind of place. It's that kind of place.